fundsupermart.com.
Hello everyone. Today we have Natasha, the Vice President at PineBridge Investments, and she's going to share with us her views on the BRIC bond market. Hello Natasha, what are the key investment themes for the BRIC bond market in 2013 and beyond?
We think that in BRIC universe, the major theme for 2013 is basically growth and the reform and the outlook for reform for the medium term. Because 2012 was a pretty tough year for emerging market economies and in general for BRIC economies as well, because they represent about 60% of the emerging market universe. So we have in China, we have economy slowing down and new leadership. So all the changes bring a lot of uncertainty. But now when we have, the MPC was done and the leadership came up with the reform agenda, there are lots of hope that the economy and the growth in China will stabilize. Brazil has also a difficult year last year and the currency weakened a lot, but they introduced a lot of different measures in Brazil. So hopefully the growth will pick up and at least we are looking for the signs of better economic growth. And we've already seen something, especially on the industrial production side. Russia, we are monitoring the oil prices and the currency fluctuation. That's an important. And another interesting development in Russia is the liberalization of the local bond market, when the foreign investor will have better access. So which just means a deeper, more liquid market. So that's one of the recent developments.
On the currency side, which currency among the four has a stronger upside this year?
At the moment, we're thinking that out of 4 BRIC currencies, Indian rupee is the one that has most potential to appreciate this year, but it's actually also the one that has most of the obstacles, because India has a relatively difficult time over the last year. Growth slowed down, and there was a pressure from the government to do reforms because the rating agency warned them that might be downgraded. So this is one of the risks for the currency. The second probably interesting would be Russian ruble. There are a lot of inflows into Russian markets because of the liberalization of the local markets, and Russian ruble has a tendency to appreciate in the first 4 or 5 months of the year. So these are the most interesting for the year.
What are the key risks investors should be aware of?
I would say that whatever the global environment is, there is always macro uncertainties in the world, and especially in the BRIC countries. These 4 are most of the time on investor radar screen. It's a lot of things going on in China, in Brazil, and in Russia, and India. And the first negative headlines that will be there would actually affect the currency markets most, because currency markets are typically the most liquid ones, and they are the first to react on the news. But the second component, I guess, of the risk for BRIC would be the credit risk of the underlying corporate bonds. But this one can be mitigated by first being invested in the bonds of a high grade, of a good quality, and as well as following the investment process and looking at the fundamentals, valuations, and technicals of each of the issuer.
What's your preference for bond duration and why?
At the moment, there are fears in the market that the US Treasury yields will rise for the year. Probably it's more of a consensus, and we saw it already happening early in the year. We prefer to be invested in the shorter duration bonds and trying to be relatively cautious on the duration outlook. It's interesting that asset class as an EM corporate bonds typically is a shorter duration asset class. So in any sell-off in the treasury market, it gives you a little bit of a cushion and protection because of the shorter duration. The bulk of the issuance for the last 2 or 3 years have been typically between like 5 and 7 years, and it helps.